Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. We are doing another design team project from Kraftgali, and we are playing with this Altenew Flowing Hearts stencil. I am going to be showing you 4 different ways that you can use stencils because we need to stretch our supplies. In this new year, we are going to be using what we have. I know you all out there are with me, and so we are going to be figuring out how we could do just that. So I'm taking some of this Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock and I am going to cut that down into A2 sizes, and it's going to get me ready to go. So here I've placed down, I pulled out my We Are Memory Keepers magnetic mat because this is super helpful when you're dealing with stencils. And so I'm going to place down my paper, my cardstock, put the stencil over it. I'm just covering up the bottom of that heart on the top, and then the bottom so I don't bring some ink into the paper. And then I'm putting my magnet over it, and it's going to hold it in place perfectly. You want to put the magnet a little bit over on top of the paper, the cardstock, because that will keep it from shifting around. So recently I did a review video on these makeup brushes to be used for ink blending. I will link that below if you want to check it out, but here we get to see them in action. And I have to say, this is probably the most excited I've been about a new craft item since Distress Oxide. So yes, that's like saying a lot. I love them. They go on so smoothly. I don't have to work at it really hard. I can use, my favorite thing about them is that regular Distress ink goes on Nina Solar White with like no harshness and super easy. So yeah, check out the review video if you haven't seen it. And look at this result. I can't even! Exclamation point. Okay, so we've gotten that one, and now I'm going to show you, that was first regular stenciling. Now I'm going to show you how to pick up the outside image or the inside image, whatever it is. Just pick up the extra ink with another piece of cardstock. And so we flip that over, boom, we have another image. I personally like that smushy ink on the outside of the image. I'm okay with that. So if you want to, you can take a paintbrush and just kind of make some more smushiness on the rest of it. That's an option too, but I love the abstractness of that card. This one right here, we're doing some embossing paste over it. I chose some Cosmic Shimmer paste that has been tainted and is now pinkish, which works to my benefit because that's okay. I'm using a red heart. And I did it really, really thick. I did not hardly smush it in there or wipe it off. I left it nice and thick because I wanted that big dimension off of my cardstock. So there I have that one. Will dry a little bit lighter. Here I wanted to show you. The shimmer dries back a little bit, so you see a lot more of that pinkish hue underneath. Of course, it did sort of eliminate my ombre effect, but I redid that card, and I'm going to use, because I had to redo that card. And so here it is, I redid it, and now I'm just covering up all the edges so that I could spray it with some Tattered Angels Pearl Mist. And yes, and then this way we have pearl on top of that beautiful red. That card just made me so happy. I'm showing you little glimpses of them as we go through just so you can kind of see how they came out. But, oh yeah, super excited about that. You can't even see the pearl on there, but the pearl is there, rest assured. Love it. All right, so now we're going to go on to using our stencil, this is the 4th way, as an embosser. So we're going to dry emboss it with, actually dry emboss the stencil. Okay. I am getting down some ink, pulling out these lovely makeup brushes again. Another thing about these makeup brushes, these are ones from Amazon, which I believe to be the exact same ones as the crafty ones being sold. I do believe that. I've actually had people in the comments section of that video tell me that they're the same because they had them side by side. So, but anyway, the wonderful thing about these brushes is A, the price point, and B, the fact that you can wipe them off onto a baby wipe or a microfiber cloth and use a totally different color right away. I think that is incredible. So you can have one brush and do all of your inking with one brush. Love it. These are just magical. So I'm going through and I'm using 2 different blues and then a purple. Not quite sure why I threw that purple in there, but I was feeling it. So I did it. And so I'm just getting a nice blend that I'm happy with. And now I'm taking some more of that Tattered Angels pearlescent spray, and I am going to get some water droplets with it. So I picked that up with my paper towel. Make sure that you're using a clean side of the paper towel when you do this so that you don't get any ink transfer. Okay, let's emboss. So I've got my plate on tab 1. I put down my first plate, my first cutting plate, a silicone mat, my cardstock, the stencil, and then the other embossing plate. Now I put a shim on top of mine because I just wanted to give it a little added pressure. I think you're supposed to, or you can use another silicone mat of some sort. That's what YouTube told me, but I didn't have one, so I improvised. And so that is the sandwich that I made. Going to run that through my die cut machine. And then here you can see that I have embossed that heart onto this cardstock. Now I also embossed the heart above it, obviously, because it was there. So I wasn't too keen on that. So what I did was I decided to cut out my heart. And so I have the embossing on the inside and then that beautiful heart-shaped, just fussy cut out. Here I'm taking some black glitter embossing. Nope, what is that? That's washi tape. Some black glitter embossing tape. And I am going to just wrap that around my card. This is some gray cardstock. And I am going to pop up my heart with some foam tape and give that some nice added dimension there. I pulled out my paper rose dies in the word dies of thanks, celebrate, and congrats, and I'm going to make those my sentiments. I love the shadow effect with the paper rose dies. I think that's so much fun. And so I'm going to be using some glitter cardstock to add my oomph to my cards that way. Getting that down on my card base here with some Nuvo glue. And then I'm going to, like I said, with my paper rose dies, I'm going to cut out the outside, the outline, in some heavy vellum. And then the actual word is going to be in glitter cardstock. So for this one, I just pulled out some glitter cardstock that sort of matched. I got it at a local craft store. And I love it for this card because it matches and it just pops off the page. So that is what I chose. I used the word thanks for that one. I could always use more thank you cards. I don't know about you. Once I finished that, I took some Nuvo Jewel Drops, which are new to me, and I love them. They are so cute, and so they're clear. They're like jewels. So Nuvo, you have named your things perfectly because they are awesome. It's almost like having Nuvo glaze in different colors, like different hues. I don't know. Anyway, they're super cool. And so I used these in the circles that were on the stencil. You could see them because the image is embossed, so you can see where those are. And I just filled those in with some Nuvo Jewel Drops. So that was super fun. You can see those. And then I added some extra ones right around the sentiment there. So cute. I love those. They're so great. Okay. So next, I'm going to take some glitter cardstock. This is Lawn Fawn glitter cardstock here, which cuts beautifully. And I have cut out my thanks, congrats, and celebrate. Now, I love the congrats and the celebrate specifically because you can use them for wedding cards. So you have a heart and both celebrate and congrats. So you can actually do anniversaries too. So I love that. I love that idea. Very versatile. So now I actually popped up the word congrats for this card right on the back of that vellum piece there and just put the foam tape right by the letters, cut them up really tiny. And now I'm pulling out some more Nuvo drops to add to the circles. Now here on the stencil, you can see where those circles are really, really vividly. And so that's where I'm filling in. It's kind of like they already laid it out for me of where to put your Nuvo drop. So I'm going to put my Nuvo drop where the stencil tells me. And that is right there. And so I used some ruby slippers on this card because I thought that went well with the bright and glittery celebrate or congrats. And then on this one, I used white kind of blizzard. I think it's called white blizzard. I'll have to check. But I love that because it's a soft look. Now, a red dot would look really pretty on that as well. And I actually think that might have made it come alive a little bit more. But I did want the celebrate to stand out quite a bit. But anyway, I think you can get away with the red dot. I think it'd be beautiful. And that will do it for this project today using the Altenew Flowing Hearts stencil and 4 ways to use them. Hopefully that gives you some ideas so you can stretch your supplies. Don't forget to head over to the shop and check out what's new. There's always tons of stuff coming in, and we will link what we use below. On a side note, Kraftgali is one of the sponsors for the upcoming event On The Make, which is a collab between myself and Corn Whiskman. We are putting on a crafty event over in Savage, Maryland on February 3rd. Tickets are on sale. Go get your spot because we have so many sponsors and giveaways and just making takes, and it's going to be a blast. So we will see you there, hopefully. If not, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.